Can women sense who is a good man? No, but he sounds safer than most due to him being the serious type. Social men come across more dangerous, because you can't tell if they view you in a friendly way or sexual way. Guys who are more serious come off like they aren't thinking anything sexual and are safer. Sometimes people have good intuition about who they can trust. It's not a male or female thing, just a particular type of emotional intelligence. No, just as men can. Ted Bundy was known as a handsome and a friendly guy. There are some women who like to believe they have this power, but they don't. The truth is you have no idea what demons are hiding behind looks. Short answer IMO is no, they can't, but that's just because of the plethora of examples seen on Reddit and every social media platform, and every community for women choosing bad men. No, that's why so many of us are killed by partners. Well, I dunno, but as a man who barely drinks or takes drugs and brought up 2 kids after my wife died who I cared for 10 years, so I feel I am a good trustworthy man. I find that some women who I meet who know nothing about me warm to me very quickly, so many that I laugh and think I must give off some kind of aura. I'm pretty stoic, calm and patient but quiet, average looking, so I definitely don't think they all fancy me lol. And I also see people and can just tell what they're like after a few minutes. This is with both men and women. Same with situations that arise, I can just kind of know how things should go for the better and I try to steer things towards a better conclusion. Maybe it's just that some people just have stronger intuition. That's what I feel about myself, and if I don't go with this gut feeling, things have gone downhill. Even when I am traveling and clearly not a local, I get approached for instructions. Maybe I just look like a type that seems to know where I am going. I haven't been able to put a finger on it. Not sure if having decent directional sense is the same as being a good, but I won't take advantage of the situation. Maybe it's the latter part that people sense? Me and my dad suffer this. It's very real. If I'm in a shop, people needing help will ask me, even mistake me for a manager. Tourists approach me all the time. Is he good looking? They gravitate to whomever makes them feel comfortable. I'm sure that's different for every person, but for most there's a certain formula to it. If we had this sense, then I don't think so many women would fall for FCK boys, etc. Ted Bundy existed. Monsters walk amongst normal people every single day. Just think of the registered sex offender list and the kitty fiddlers that went to Epstein Island. I think as women we have to scan and sense good man all the time, especially strangers. Most of us do it subconsciously. For example, you get on bus and you scan where to sit to not be bothered. Or you go to a bar for a drink and you take a table far from guys who are too loud and might try to pick you up, etc. Maybe other guys were loud, making sexual jokes, or some ambiguous remarks. If they could, domestic abuse would be much less frequent. It's not a woman thing, or even sensing someone is a good person. People tend to feel safe around what is familiar. Your friend might have common attributes in people that subconsciously remind them of their parents. And luckily for those people, he happens to be a good person as far as you are aware. This same principle of being attracted to the familiar is why observing abuse between parents makes the child likely to grow up as an abuser and/or target themselves. They either feel safe with someone who has subtle characteristics of being an abuser, or they meet someone who is overly accommodating and doubts their own feelings like the targeted parent. From my experience, depends on the person. Some men and women have a good gut feeling about who they can trust in difficult situations. But growing up, you hear so much more stories of unexpected betrayal, asshole and predatory behavior from people that were thought of as friends. I think in some group of friends it's quite easy to distinguish the dad or mom of the group who always takes care of others. They are usually more mature, empathetic and always available to help without expecting anything in return. Obviously not. Short answer, no. People don't have perfect intuition about others, but they sure try. If the girl was injured quite badly, she was probably pretty shaken if you were a long way from safety. She needed someone to rely on and he seemed like the best bet. If he turned out to be unreliable, then I am sure she would have relied on you guys instead. It wasn't that you guys were invisible, it is just that it is easier to ask just one person. If women or men could innately sense who among the opposite sex were good or bad people deep down inside, the world would be a very different place. In reality, I think people's gut instincts about other people are dead wrong at least as much as they're right. I think gut instincts about others are mostly just based on learned visual cues, i.e. does the other person fit the description of what you grew up believing or were taught to believe good people look and act like. Probably because he is reserved and mysterious, and doesn't come off as cocky. Him checking on her if she is okay confirms she made the right choice. A lot of men would try to take advantage of that situation.